we could add in well, let's say a frame. Now a frame is just like what the image is showing right now. You could frame it, put it up like a picture. So ideally you should be able to see something like that. And the frame itself can be adjusted based on what you want. Okay, the dimensions again. Okay, it's like if you're buying a picture frame, say 16 by 16, you definitely put 16 by 16 picture inside, right? So say maybe about 16 inches, something like that. Okay, if you're buying a smaller picture, definitely you have to buy a frame like 12 inch. Okay, if not, it's not gonna fit properly. Okay, or it might overlap in the sense that you have a small picture, but you're placing it in a big frame. Okay, so ideally you want to have an estimation. Again, applying math. Yes, math is coding. Okay, and coding is math. Okay, so you need to do the calculation. Okay, now framework. Okay, now we have a frame. Now what we need to do is we need to give dimensions for the frame. So let's do maximum width. Okay, and maximum height. Okay, now maximum width, let's give it, say, infinite. E means it's gonna go all the way to the end. It's gonna stretch out. Okay, now that is what I want. Okay, I could ideally change it to other dimensions, as you guys can see, dot. Okay, so forth, all these different classifications. That's a lot. Okay, or I could just directly specify. Okay, say maybe 120 framework. See, so it gets smaller because, as you guys can see, it does not fit well. Okay, so again, I said about the picture frame again. Okay, 180 fits well. Okay, if I put it 100, you can see it's getting messy. If I put it 50, let's see what happens. It gets way messy. Okay, so ideally let's put it at 180 so that we can see the effects later on. Okay, now we also want to give it a maximum height, so let's do max height, and let's give it a number as well. Again, I'm going with let's say 80. There we go. Okay, now the minute you add that frame, you notice there's a space down there that comes out. Okay, we're going to talk about that in a minute. Okay, now ideally that is something you can do, so you have some amper space in between. So unlike previously in UI kit where you have to do alignments, draggings, and putting in all the dimensions and so forth, now SwiftUI does it all for you. Okay, so it auto tabulates whatever framework that you are required, provided you don't go overlaps on that one. Okay, that will create a huge brainstorm. Okay, now putting that aside, now I've done up my frame, so maybe I want to add a little bit of a background. Okay, I could do dot background. Oopsie, my bad with the spelling. Background, and we're gonna put it bracket. Now we can do dot. Okay, and with blue. Okay, now you can see we have a blue color. Now I could change that to another color as well. Maybe say I'll change pink, so it looks pinkish. Okay, now it looks okay to me, but we got a problem here. It doesn't look appealing. Okay, I think you as a user would not want this, right? So maybe let's go with something like corner radius. Okay, one of my favorite items. Okay, now what does corner radius do? It bounds the frame. It creates like a framework in a sense. So you can use corner radius. Now I could add a number. Now again, be careful with the specific numbers. Okay, if I put 5, it would only bend a bit. Okay, if I put 10, it's gonna bend in a little more, but not that much. So I'm gonna put 20 instead. So now it looks more appealing. Okay, like a little bit of curve down there. Okay, now it's slightly a bit too tall, so I'm gonna make it 60. So it looks way better. Now this looks more like a button. Now to make the words more appealing as well, now blue and red and pink, Sorry about that. That's not really match up that well, so I'm going to change that color to white. So you can see that impressive, slick button right now. Okay? Now with that, now my button is done. Okay? But it looks a little bit crampy with the word buy now. Okay? Now, maybe if, let's say, I want to add some subs. Okay? Would you want to buy from us? Okay, now this is nice, but again, spacing. Okay, now, so what do I have to do? Now, what I do is I put an enter. I'm gonna put a special word. It's called spacer. And make sure to put in this. Okay, now, but the minute you put that in, it spaces out. Now, from the UI itself, it spaces out. It's like stretching, you know. Please don't stretch your girlfriend right now at this moment, okay? But as a live experiment, you can stretch yourself. Okay, there we go. Okay, now, if you put something in between yourself, you most probably will stretch all the way out. Okay, so ideally, you want to guys want to make a guess. What should I do next? You got a minute to try it out. Okay, guys, have you guys guessed out what we should do? Well, I'm gonna divulge the answer in a minute, but really, don't let me give you the answer, but try it out, okay? Now, V-stack on top, I have to add a spacer. Now, same thing when you stretch yourself, you need to give a little stretch on both sides. So I'm gonna add a spacer here, bracket, and I'm gonna add another spacer at the bottom, spacer. Sounds like Yoda giving the power. Okay, that looks nice. Okay, now I could add the specifics for the spacer as well. Say maybe 20, but not like this. Okay, not like this. Okay, now you need to add in some certain points like that. Okay, infinity, so forth, maximum latitude, and so forth. Okay, now putting that aside, we're not going to touch on that one, okay? That's too specific for you guys here. Do take a look at our advanced tutorial. Yeah, do let us know whether if you want to know more about that one, okay? Now, it's good, but it's a text, and it doesn't really do anything much. And it's not appealing enough as well, okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to have to add in an image, okay? So what are images down here? Now, images in this instance is sort of like putting a picture in and creating a visual effect. In other words to say, letting the people know what you want them to buy. So I'm going to put an image down here, and then I'm going to put a bracket. Okay, now the problem would occur as it fails to upload because it says that it's missing a string. Okay, so it does not know what type of picture you want to put in. Okay, so ideally I would highly recommend, okay, now that you need to download a picture that you want to name it to, and then put it in the assets folder. Okay, now let's picture, nice picture. Let's download let's buy Coca-Cola. Oh, let's buy coffee instead. Okay, Americano. Okay, I've got Americano images. Now I'm gonna look at for Americano down here. This looks like a nice Americanos. Okay, now I'm gonna put in this one. Okay, how does this look? Or does this look more appealing to you guys? Oh, there you go. We'll go with this one then. Okay, I've chosen an Americano. Right click, download image. Hopefully it works. Make sure that image is a JPEG. and PNG. Okay, so I have a PNG picture. Okay, now I would need to rename it later on. So coming back to Xcode, go to assets folder. Okay, there you go. My nice, beautiful Americano. Now I'm gonna call it Americano. There you go. Guys that love Americano, you guys are in luck today. Okay, now here. Now, once I have that, I need to copy and I need to put that in. Remember to add speech marks and put the content in, just like that. Okay, now we got a problem. Now, what's wrong? Now, the picture itself is going way overlaps. It's too big. Okay, we got a problem. Okay, so we need to classify the picture. So we're gonna type enter, resizable. Okay, then it automatically changes to a nice, beautiful, resizable Americano picture. Okay, make sure you add that. Okay, if you don't add that, you're gonna have a very ugly UI. Put it this way. Okay, now I think the picture's good. It looks nice. I want to buy that Americano.